Hello and welcome back to the Python Crash Course. I'm Chris Franklin, your host. Okay, today we've been learning about the basics of Python, the basic data types of integers, floats, and strings, and then we've learned how to write our first application, which you can still see is still here in the workspace that I'm working in. But today we're going to come back to the Python console. So if you're still in main.py, go ahead down here and click the Python console. Let's open this up. This is where we're going to be working today. So what are we going to be working with today? Today, we are going to learn about Boolean values. Okay? They're an additional data type that you have to be able to work with. And they're super important for our next lesson, which is going to be flow control. Okay? Flow control can be thought of as a way to determine which direction the application should take that we're writing. Do we want to go to the left or to the right? Or in the middle or anywhere else, right? So we determine the flow of the application. It makes us be able to do much more complicated things than what we've looked at so far. But in order to control the flow of an application, we have to have some way of triggering a branch or a statement that we want to execute. And the way we do that in Python is through Boolean values. Okay? So what does Boolean mean? Boolean means it's either a true or false. It's either yes or no. It's on or off. That's the way you can think of Boolean values. In Python, they're represented as true, capital T-R-U-E, or false, capital A-F-A-L-S-E. Okay? Those are the true and false values. Always a capital. If you do lowercase true, you'll see you get an error because we're trying to use the name true. That it doesn't recognize that as a Boolean value. Some languages use lowercase, but Python uses capital T, capital F, true and false. Okay? So what can we actually do with these? Well, there's a lot of Boolean comparison operators. Okay? We can look at the other value types that we've seen, the other data types, and we can start to compare them together. And the output of that comparison is going to be a Boolean. For instance, let's look at the equals operator. Not the equal sign, but the equal equal, okay? Double equal sign. It means this value is equal to this other value. So let's say, for instance, 2 is equal to 2, all right? This is asking, is 2 equal to 2? We hit enter, and we see that true. Yes, they are the same number. They are the same value. Therefore, they are equal. Well, what if I say, is 1 equal to 2? What am I going to get? I'm going to get false because they are not equal to each other. Now, there's a few operators here that we can use to start comparing things. Let's say we want a true to come, and we know the values aren't going to be the same, and they shouldn't be the same. We can use the exclamation point equals, and that means not equals, okay? That comes from mathematics. It's not equal sign, okay? So 1 is not equal to 2, which is true. But is 2 not equal to 2? Well, no, that's false. We know that 2 is equal to 2, so 2 is not equal to 2 is going to return false. Okay, we can also look at less than and greater than from mathematics. So we can say, is 2 less than 3? Well, yes, it is. Is 2 less than 1? Why, no, it's not. It's false, okay? We can also do greater than. Is 2 greater than 3? Nope, it's not. But is 3 greater than 2? Why, yes, it is. Okay? And then the final comparison operators that we need to know about are less than or equal to. So is 2 less than or equal to 2? And they need to be next to each other. You can't put a space in there like I just did, or that'll break. Is 2 less than or equal to 2? Yes, it is. Is 2 less than or equal to 3? Also, yes, it is. But is 2 less than or equal to 1? No, it is not. It's false. Okay? Hopefully this gives you a feel for the different kinds of operators you can use. You're going to be using these a lot when comparing multiple values to each other, okay? We don't have to compare the raw values here. We can also compare variables to each other. So if I say 2 is equal to 2 and 3 is equal to 3, okay? So I created two new variables, 2WO and T-H-R-E-E. Now I can say is 2 less than 3. True, it is. There you go. So you can start to see how to actually use Boolean operators to work with things. Excuse me. So let's look at a couple other. We can also compare strings together. So we can say from our example above, let's say we're working with the hello string. Is hello equal to hello? Why, yes it is. Is hello equal to capital H-E-L-L-O? Why? No, it's not. They are different strings. We can do the same thing with all the other operators, not equals. You can't do less than and equal to and less than or equal to on strings because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. However, you can mix types as far as integers and floats as long as the float when cast to an integer is the same. So if we say 42 is equal to 42.0, those are identical. So we can see that, yes, they are the same value even though one has a decimal place. But if I say 42 is equal to 42.01, no, they are not equal. Okay, so you can see if the values are the same, if both were integers, then they would be the same. So the integer gets cast to a float, it's 42.0, and so it is the same as 42.0. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And so there's another operator that we want to talk about here. When you're doing these kinds of comparisons, they're great, but we can also start to combine these together. So let's say we have something that resolves to true and something else that resolves to true. And we want to make sure both cases are true. In this case, we have what are called binary Boolean operators. Okay, so there are two of them that we work with. So we can say true and true, the word and here being the binary Boolean operator. And we can say that true and true is true. We also have or. True or true is also true. But now we can start to play with things. We can say false or true, and that's actually going to be true. But if we do false and true, we'll see that's false because not both of them are true. So ands, both sides have to be equal. Ors, either side has to be. Both sides have to be true in an and, or both sides have to be. Either side can be true in an or. We can also see an interesting case where if false and false is false, right? Even though they're the same on both sides, both of them are false. So we say the whole evaluation ends up being false. There is only one other operator that you're ever going to work with that's on a regular basis, and that is the not operator. So if we say something is not true, it's actually false. If we say something is not false, it's true. Okay, so we can start to combine these together in really interesting ways to create really interesting logic patterns and try and find our way to activate our flow statements, which we're going to start looking at in the next lesson. I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.